We're talking about the rules we never made.
The rules we
And
never
what and
made.
so what are we really talking about when we say the rules we never made? We talking about those silent type of arguments,
Right.
the expectations, the things we bring into a
Yeah, it's more. I
relationship
think it's
that
more.
that we don't say
Yeah,
out
but
loud.
they become arguments. They really not. You be arguing with yourself because you expect the person to already know these things.
But our expectations come from a lot of things. They come from
Right.
what we seen, how we were raised,
Yeah,
what
all
we
of
saw
that.
growing
Yeah.
up, or what we wish, or what idea we have on what love is supposed to look
Right.
like.
And a lot of y'all people get a lot of it from these movies. Get out of there.
And soap operas or whatever,
Right,
wherever you get it
right.
from, whatever your fairy tale is. I mean, if that's how they see it,
Yeah.
okay. And then for me, I know we got together kind of real young, so
Right, yeah. She
so
took me, people.
real young, and I'm talking about high school, 10th, 11th
Yeah,
grade. So those expectations in my head, or what I had, or what I thought
Right.
it should be. I know you didn't know. You didn't have any idea,
Right.
but I definitely did. I
But,
knew what I
yeah.
wanted and how it was
And
supposed
it
to be.
comes from like some type of trauma or what you wish your house was like because you didn't have it there. You know what I mean? And then when you see a person that you like, you expect them to know. Oh, you don't know this already.
Yeah, you should know.
But
You should know.
because my house is different. You know.
But some things we
you-
feel like
Look, here you can have mine.
got it.
You good? Because
Yeah,
I
I'm
want to
good.
make sure.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You want to make sure my expectations are taken care of.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you, sir. That's so nice
Yeah,
of you.
I learned something today.
Well, when we got married, I assumed
Bruh.
that
It's Cap. You heard, bruh, Cap. Nah,
Well,
go ahead.
when we got married, I assumed that you knew these. You knew
Right.
certain things. You had already, like you're a man, so you know how a man is supposed to be. So I assumed that you already knew these
Right.
things, but I know these things don't necessarily come with an instruction manual. But some things I thought were just innate that you would
Right.
you would know.
And
but
as
one
we
thing
know,
you can't do is
people-
read my mind.
It's not.
No, but those were expectations that I never voiced.
Right, right.
I should have said, "Hey, this is what I expect, and this is what I
Yeah.
want," because expectations and rules are
Right.
not the same thing.
And a lot of people assume that
Mm-hmm.
the man's supposed to pay. Because don't get me wrong, through life and through time, that was always the thing. Being chivalrous and the man
Mm-hmm.
taking the control, and you know what I mean? But also through time, that has changed a lot.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
It's not. No,
Because
you're right.
I mean, if you understand something, you want to pay. If you ask the person out,
Right.
and why don't you pay?
But it's
you know?
when it comes. But is it expected? I
It's
know
expected.
it's expected.
It's expected.
But
It's
is that
definitely
the rule
expected.
or the law?
That's more like a
These days it's different.
Yeah,
you know?
These days it's different. I mean, if we decide that if we mutually decided that we're going out, like a lot of times when we go out or whatever, whether it's at the grocery store or where we at, a lot of times, I'll take my card out and people think I'm paying for
Right.
the household and you just bagging the groceries or whatever, not
Right.
knowing that it's the same card from the
You-
same
Yeah,
account.
look, you can see them burn the back of my
Yeah,
head.
they like,
look at that. Look at that.
They look at him and say, "That'll be $89.65."
Yeah. Look.
And then he looking, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
and he like, okay, now she gotta pay. Why she gotta
why
pay?
she gotta- he
yeah,
ain't shit.
yeah, why? But if we're at a restaurant or something like that, even though it's coming from the same account, even though it's the same card,
But,
it makes
it's just the way it looks.
Yeah, the way it looks. So
to the outsider. But
then
do they
I'll
even,
be like.
yeah.
Because, sometimes you'll give it to me to sign, but you'll put your card in there or
Right,
whatever, and
right,
I'll be
right.
like, okay, I'm going to sign it or whatever. But it's just, those things like that. And the difference, I'm going to give y'all the difference between expectation and rules.
Right.
And expectation is something that we hope or we believe will happen, okay? And the rule is something that is non-negotiable, like it's a standard. It's like a boundary. It's like this is how it's going to be. So sometimes when we say rules, people think, okay, that's a bit strict. Okay,
Right.
you're giving me a rule that's strict. You don't tell me what
Right.
to do or whatever. And that is in that essence. But when expectations that we have go unspoken, that is when they start to kind of look like a rule. Because
Right.
I'm like, now, what are we doing here? And then if we break that rule or that expectation, then everybody mad.
Right.
Or,
And it happens.
it feel like you being,
Right,
you
right,
betrayed
right.
or something. Now you mad because you told me not to do that, or you
Right,
told me the
right, right.
expectations that I don't do that. I talk to you first.
It's just
or
like a
whatever.
lot of people have things about how they women dress sometimes. It's an expectation or a rule.
Yeah.
Now it can become hazy sometimes because I want you to dress exotic or sexy for me, not for everybody else. Now, if you leaving me at home, hey, you probably need to go change. Now, if I say it like that, and other people around like, ooh, girl, you gonna let him talk to you like that?
Yeah, it's just like you're not going. When I say you're not going out with those jogging pants on.
Oh, yeah. I got
You know, you ain't going out there with them jogging pants on. You
But
know what I'm
a
saying?
lot of it's out of respect, though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
it's like,
everything deems from being respectful to the one that you with.
Yes.
You know, and a lot of people don't have respect because people want to be in a relationship and single at the same time. And that's where the disconnect comes from for a lot of people.
Everybody has their own set of rules. You know, every couple, every relationship, you got our own set of rules. Like for us, we'll say, okay, no matter how mad we are, we're gonna sleep in the same bed.
Right.
Although sometimes I don't want to be in the bed because I'm mad.
Yeah, and I don't care because we gonna spoon tonight. I don't care you mad at me. I might wake with a knot on my head, but look, tonight we spoon and we'll talk about why we mad tomorrow.
And another rule, another rule or expectation or something I know that you set is that we don't text. When we have an issue, we don't text each other when we're away from the house.
Right. And I'm gonna tell you, Peter, why
or we don't call each other and talk about what's wrong when we're away from the house.
And I'm not gonna read that far because I can't read your emotion. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to read it in the way that I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? When I read a text and that mother about 3 pages long, and I'm reading it how I'm already feeling. And I don't want to do that. I want to read it the way you presented it to me. Intended to be. So I just leave that, you know what I'm saying, to the side. And do that cause conflict? Because, you know, sometimes it does because I know you're not a confrontational person.
No,
like you don't want to be. You be looking at you don't look at me. You looking in the sky, talking. Like,
I'd rather write it. I'd rather write it. But you know, sometimes you have to have those uncomfortable conversations until you start acting crazy. Now, and kindly say, you know, something to me that's fine. So yeah, I want. Sometimes I do want to send you a message or say, look, you left here with your tail on your shoulder, what's wrong with you, or whatever. But I just wait. Then I don't get my call, I'm mad.
Right. Because I remember the other day, we was into it about something. I forgot what it was at this point, because it was kind of minute. Either way. And he's like, I ain't think you would even call me.
Yeah, because you was mad. You was mad. I didn't know you, whatever. So those type of expectations.
But it's the expectation. Like, I'm still, you know what I mean, or expectation or rule. I'm still gonna call because you used to me doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like me coming home.
Even if you hold the phone.
Right? Yeah, we hold her.
All right, then. My break over.
My break over. We done held the phone for 10 minutes. Ain't said nothing.
Because we mad.
But that's the time I call. I'm gonna keep on calling at that. You know what I'm saying? At that time, because we mad or not. You know what I mean? And so when you set those type of rules for yourselves and for your relationship, y'all just abide by them. You know what I'm saying? Mad or not. Like you were talking about the bed thing. Like, we ain't doing that. You sleeping on we sleeping on the couch. Who? You got me messed up, man. Hey, man. Say, man.
And on that note, I'm going to hit y'all with some stats. Let's do a stat check. According to a 2022 Marriage.com study, 67% of couples say that unmet expectations are one of the biggest causes for conflict.
Right.
Okay. And then the Godwin Institute found that couples often don't fight over money or sex. They fight over how things are managed in silence.
Right.
So I'm going to let y'all let that kind of stew. Yeah. And studies also show that communication breakdowns, not cheating, not finances, are top, predictor for divorce. What do you think about that? The communication and
the problem is people know how to manage. Well, try to learn how to manage their own self, and they think to them they can manage the other person too. No, you can't manage me. You can talk to me about what needs to be done in any situation. It can be sex, finances, or how much time we spend. All of that. But only way we're going to get through to each other is to have the conversation. If you don't have the conversation, you will get nowhere. But a lot of people scared of rejection. First of all, that's why they don't really want to say nothing. They just want to say, "Well, you should know."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
And everybody don't know everything because, like we said earlier, everybody was raised different. My expectations for me is different. You know what I'm saying? For you.
And then it could be because of the way that you were raised that you have
Yeah,
certain
and it's
expectations because you don't want to repeat those same mistakes
Yeah.
or you don't want to be that way. So you're like, okay,
Right.
I'm gonna be this way. My parents might have did things this way. I'm
Right.
gonna do it this way, and this is why I want things this way.
It's just like,
so
and
it's
I
a
don't
compromise.
know, and I don't know if this was a skit or not. It looked kind of like it was a skit, but when we were watching the thing earlier, and the girl said, well, just if I get he gonna give me $3,000 a month, but sometimes he might fight me and hit me upside the head.
Yeah.
So, people, if y'all see my eye swollen looking like this, don't say nothing. Just know I got the bag. I said, what kind of foolishness? You feel what I'm saying? But hey, that's for some who if you value money over your self-respect, hey, that's on you. You know what I mean? But don't expect for your friends to agree with that.
Yeah, because money is will cause some issues for you if you think that's supposed to make you happy because you see what everybody else have, and then you so hung up on the materialistic things, then looking right in front of you. You want to take trips, you want to do these things, but there are a lot of things that you can do that are very inexpensive. You can take a picnic, you can go to the park, you can just just ride and vibe
but a lot of
together,
people
things like that.
In the society that we live in, people gonna look at that and gonna be like, "Oh, that nigga broke. He a picnic. Who does that?" You know what I'm saying? They want to go to the most expensive restaurant, and they ain't got no food in the refrigerator, mind you. But they still think like you supposed to go to the most expensive place in the world or have the most expensive thing, but you can't. You don't have time for your kids. You don't have time for yourself for real, like socially. I mean, well, not socially, but spiritually. You don't even take time out for that. But as long as you got the bag, you okay.
And a lot of these things, these unspoken expectations can lead to separation or even divorce because they just don't like each other. You know what I'm saying? They live in two different versions of what they feel like love should be.
Yeah, and then when they got ran through, I'm talking on both sides, then they want to like, you know what?
That was the one. That was the one. I want them back. You know how they was talking about people getting remarried. We talked about that last night. You've been divorced for 20 years and then you get back together because you realize that was the so-called one. But you just realized that person was the actual one. And sometimes it be too late and sometimes it don't be. They take you back, And
I was at the barbershop like the other day and like some people were talking about that, like how the ex-wife wanted them back. You know what I mean? But he done moved on. Like, I still love her because we got kids.
Yeah.
But like, hey, that ship has sailed.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah.
So right now you can look in the chat. You can tell us how you feel or what you think about what we said about unspoken expectations. What are some of your expectations? What are some of the things that are deal breakers for you?
Right.
What kind of rules that do you have, or did your rules cause you to cause your relationship to end? Because some people rules can be extreme. Now there are some things that expectations that we have that are outrageous, and then there's some things that are very, very realistic. Like, I'm not gonna say that I'll never do this or I'll never do that, because there may come a time when I had to push that garbage out to the road when nobody's here, or there may come a time when I need to go get that oil change or anything. There's not things that I would like to do, but I can do them. I have
but some
knowledge
things
of
are
them.
expected for like a man or. You know what? In this climate, I can't even say it's just in a relationship. Because once you talk about certain things, like this is what I expect, and just let that be. You know what I'm saying? But I know, you
gotta have that conversation because they're gonna be like, she's gonna be like, damn, I always have to do this and do that for myself. But sometimes people just don't know, and they didn't have that father figure or that male figure to tell them, son, don't let the woman do this, or son, make sure that you do this for your wife or significant other, or do this. Some people don't have that. You have to tell them, you can't be like, I ain't touching that guy. Just say,
Right.
I feel like that's one of
So
the
you
things
gonna let
that
this shit
you.
pile up?
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the
damn.
things that you should have to do.
Right,
you know?
right.
You know, some
now,
people,
if I'm there, I feel like I'm obligated to do certain things if I'm there. But don't be that person just let it pile. Well, ain't no man around. I'm just gonna let this shit just fester and just pile up, and you know what I mean, and just let it go. Nah,
why
you
should
don't
I
do
have
that.
to pump my own gas? You know,
Right.
things
Sometimes
like
you
that.
have to. Now,
Yeah, sometimes you have to.
And as a man, I feel like you shouldn't have to pump no gas. But hell, if you don't eat, you better go get some gas. All right, you don't cut. Go get some gas.
Well,
but look, but I'm gonna say this.
So.
For me though, but like now, if it's at night, now come on, baby, yeah, baby, come on to the house and I'll go get it.
Okay.
No, in the daytime, like if you come back in the daytime, you about to run out of gas. I'm looking at you funny. I'm like, what? But at night, you know what I mean? Or you in Memphis. If you in Memphis at any time, don't never stop. Just come on.
If I'm in Memphis, I'm gonna ride the balls of the tire until the rim just dragging the ground.
Man, hey, look.
We used to live in Memphis, man.
I love Memphis, man. I'm just saying. Y'all know y'all reputations. Look, don't make me.
Okay.
Right, yeah,
all
man.
Right.
Yeah, we got a little studio artist right here. That's why I keep turning my head. But yeah, we got a couple of people in here because it was a prom night for E&P, man. Big up that. So you know what I'm saying? We got a couple of little chicks off here went to prom. You know what I mean? They talking about they got pops on the side, so he trying to he driving for the He hustling. But yeah, big up like E&P prom last night. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all had great fun. You know what I'm saying?
And everybody's safe, and we're glad that everybody made it back safe. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about how to combat that real, honest conversation. What you need to do, because we give you these tips and scenarios, but we're gonna always tell you what you can do to fix it. And you can take this information and use it, or you can say they don't know what they're talking about and keep on doing what you're doing and keep on putting gas in your own car.
Right, but one thing, like at least, man, try to talk about these things. Don't just let them sit by the wayside and don't even bring it up at all, because that's when you failing yourself and your
significant other. Yeah, and here's the thing: we don't have it all figured out. We have our own issues and problems.
Right.
Well, we still learning with everybody, still doing the work. But we're gonna give you some stuff that'll help you. So the first thing that we want you to do is check in often. So you want to ask your mate, "Are you good?" and you mean it. Okay, because sometimes I ask.
That's that phone call at 11 o'clock. It depends on if it's on a Tuesday or Thursday though.
Because I'm in
a meeting.
Because I'm in a meeting. But if he don't call me, then I'm gonna be like, wait a minute. I think I might need to go down there. Is he all right?
Yeah.
He making it work all right? Is everything okay? I'm gonna check and see. Okay, yeah, the Hyundai has made it to.
Right.
So check.
But you know she got a GPS on me anyway. That's another story.
You gotta make sure you're safe. So do your check-ins, because I always ask, how you doing? You good? I noticed the so and so. You need to get your doctor's appointment or whatever, and check in about check the temperature, see how everything's going, because you could think y'all doing well and you're not. Your mate is in hell.
Who you? I'm gonna backflip. I'm gonna call the Holy Spirit. Lord.
You think y'all doing good and you're not. You gotta check in.
Well, I had about 2 weeks of that. I was crying and shit. Look, I'm in the shower like, oh Lord, I don't know what I done did. I don't think I did nothing. Let me check my messages in my phone. I ain't did nothing. I ain't inboxed nobody. I ain't did what's wrong with her. Lord help me.
And the next thing, number 2, is say the quiet things out loud. Okay. Right. Don't be hoping they figure it out. And most importantly, say it kindly. The things that you've been going over in your head, say it kindly. Say, hey, baby, I noticed that
you ain't giving me none. Don't spit it out. That be most of our answer. Look, baby, it's been a week.
He said it's been a week. He said it has been a week.
Either way.
More like it's been 24 hours.
Man, 24 hours. You ready? Hold up. Nah.
Number 3. Number 3 is define your own values. What is important to y'all as a couple?
Right.
What are bedtime rules Cause somebody go to sleep and I gotta go to sleep too. Well,
Just
I ain't gotta go to sleep, but I gotta go lay down.
And you know what? While we doing this, I want to apologize to you for all the time you asked me to come lay down and I did. Oh. Because like now that we on the same shift and I have to lay down before you do, it feel weird to be in the bed by myself. Oh. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't care if you go to sleep, you can get up.
That's how I felt when the bed was cold.
But
and
see,
you
now
was in the garage.
I get it because you can get up and do what you want to just.
Come to bed.
Just gonna lay down, what I mean?
Yeah. So that's one of our rules. The other one is in the bed. Then just come till that other one goes to sleep or whatever.
Oh, you said
and then
what
I
now?
get it. Just
go do what now? I was just asking.
Arrive to bed and sit there and wait till they go to sleep and then get on your iPad. Get on your iPad and your phone, go to TikTok and make videos. Okay. So nasty. Make those. You nasty.
You're right.
Because something about the nighttime.
Man, there it is.
So you want to number 4.
Right.
You want to use the we language, and if you don't know what the we language is, shift from you don't to how can we.
How can we? Because y'all, you got to understand one thing about that, and what I feel like my wife is saying is that from when you married, y'all become one. Mm-hmm. So you're not an individual anymore, in a way. So you have to. It's us and we.
Yeah.
All the time. It ain't I anymore.
Mm-hmm. It's we.
Yeah. And y'all have to talk to each other like that because ain't nothing separate anymore. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
How can we do this? How can we get here or whatever? Yeah. So why come you don't take me on no date nights? Yeah. It's how can we schedule some time to be together, to have date nights and things like that? Okay, how can we get some more money so we can do this thing? Because your wife is a connoisseur of fine foods.
Right.
Okay, and number 5, accept growth. The rules you live by at 25 might not work for you at 40.
Right.
Okay.
And you don't even have to spread it out that far because I'm a true believer, like, you know what I'm saying? When I'm around good energy, the energy transfers to me. Because sometimes just in one day, I can meet a good girl like, I've never... And we having a conversation. Mm-hmm. I never thought about it like that. And just in that instant, I can change.
Right.
And I bring it home with me. And, you know what I'm saying? Now I done changed in that. So now, just from day to day, I done changed just from who I was.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It don't even take a whole lot of time. Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah, but you're not the same person.
Right.
We can't do this. What worked for us back then, don't. Right. Work anymore because we've evolved. Mm-hmm. We're different. We change every day. So the same thing that you was doing before, you can't do it no more. Right. You got to come up with something better.
It's just like people, them same positions you can't do when you were 25. That's in 40. You can't do it no more.
Come on.
You gotta slow it down. You can't speed it up. Keep it right there. Don't move too fast. Don't stress too far. You're gonna be out.
And your wife is not a pretzel. She got to stretch. Just don't be afraid to have those uncomfortable talks. Because that's where the healing. That's where the healing starts, and that's how you get closer.
Closer than close.
Closer than most.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now.
So you have to always be that, man. If you don't, man, you doing yourself a disservice.
You really are.
As a couple, and then you got to ask yourself why y'all together. If I got to be so separate from my mate, why are we together?
Yeah. What are we doing here?
Yeah. What
are we doing here? And if I'm that unhappy,
and don't let the kids be an excuse. Bro.
Don't let the kid be no excuse now. Yeah, you're right. You said something right there. Because if you're not happy, what you there for? Right. What are you there for? Because life is too short for you to be unhappy.
Who can I run to?
I have to be ready. I have to be ready for this one. I have to be on my way home. I have to be ready.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate you all taking the time out to spend with us on If You Don't Know, You Will. If
We
you
back, baby.
We're back. And if you want to be a guest on the show, just hit us up in our inbox, or you can message one of us and let us know we still accepting guests and stuff like that. And if you need help with your own podcast and getting your own podcast together, and you just need production, we got you.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And it ain't free.
This ain't for free.
Yeah, you ain't said the real part.
They can't say the real part. Kevin ain't here.
Kevin
They can't say the real part.
yeah.
That's out the door.
Yeah,
This ain't for free. But definitely we can help you to get your podcast production going. Whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to do. But first you got to be our guest. That's a stipulation. You got to be our guest. Okay? You got to be a guest first. And then we'll ease you on into the C13 family.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and we're going to hit you with the socials. There are the socials. You can check us out on Facebook If You Don't Know, You Will. On YouTube If You Don't Know, You Will. On Instagram at If You Don't Know, You Will podcast. TikTok. And I guess this is Spotify. Yeah, that's Spotify.
Yeah.
That's Spotify. So you can check us out.
And when I'm broke, you can hit me up on any corner in Mississippi. No, I'm just playing.
I thought you were going to say Cash App or something. We on the corner.
On the corner, straight
on the
swing.
corner.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I will put you on the track because I am in charge of the girls and the guys. I'm in charge of the girls.
She
and
pimping
the
me
guys.
out.
You got to do what you got to do. It ain't easy, but it's necessary.
Easy. Man, yeah.
Pimping ain't easy, but it's necessary. Okay? Somebody got to do it.
All right.
Okay. All right, you guys. We appreciate you being here, as we said. And if you don't know,
you will.
And we'll let you go now. See you later.